For as long as I can remember, everyone has told me that I have big hands. For as long as I can remember, everyone has tried to tell me what I should be based on the size of these hands. With hands like that, son, you'd be a great guitar player. But I never was. So they said with hands like that, you'd be great at basketball. What they never anticipated was I'd stop growing about 6 inches, too small. And sometimes I feel small standing beneath a 10-foot hoop, so I fall into the habit of living through a character in a video game, pretending that virtually shooting a virtual ball in a virtual match is the same thing as it is in real life. I guess these big hands make no difference when all you're playing is a game. Life, that was the game I wanted to play. I spent my high school years with my mates, giving each other purple Nurples as they served our purple Slurpees down at the local 7-Eleven till 7 on a school night, and it was about that time my father would send me a text asking if I'd be home for dinner that night, and I wouldn't answer. Because I knew that 5 minutes from when I walked through the door, there'd be another fight waiting for me, and my fight-or-flight response was out of whack, so I'd wag during school hours and hang out the back of Fairfield train station, eating chips and gravy with my mates, discussing which players should make the state of origin when my origin was waiting at home for me, personified by a father I could barely stand to see. And they say that blood runs thicker than water, but I say that water runs clearer than blood, because my father loved the taste of scotch better than he loved his own blood. And so my name was Mud. Don't call me Elliot York Cameron, call me Elliot York Mud. That's what I thought of my blood. I wouldn't come home till after he went to bed to avoid another flood of verbal abuse. There is no use trying to maintain a happy household in a house where such words are running loose, bouncing off the walls to hang you by a noose. It's a shame these big hands could never cut me loose. So my father would book me an appointment with the school counselor because he thought I was wild, he thought I was a problem child, he thought I was the problem. I remember when I was little, my father said to me, son, can you count each one of your friends on your fingers one by one? If you can fill up just one hand, you'll be the luckiest man on the planet. And I said, easy, Dad, I can count to 10. But some things are too grand for a child's mind to understand. Within a few years, I went from 10 to 5 and 5 to 1 and 1 to none. And so I work my way back slowly now. And it's crazy to think the things that stay with you, because I haven't spoken to my father in years, and that is the best lesson that anyone ever taught me. For as long as I can remember, everyone has told me that I have big hands, and based on the size of these hands, they thought they knew who I was and what I could be. But they spent too long looking at my hands. I spent too long counting the fingers on my hands that no one thought to rip open my chest to check what was ticking inside. I didn't want to be judged by the breadth of my palms or by the rhythm of my heartbeat, because who would need to learn how to play a guitar when it's by the beat in their chest that they're learning to live? And they say we only live once, and that life is short and Father Time is an unstoppable force, but I will be an immovable object. And I say that life is what I make it. And my blood will run the same shade of red no matter where I am on this earth. And no matter how many fingers I can count on my hands, I will have 2 feet planted firmly in the earth. And next time someone tells me I have big hands, I will say, thank you. I hope they were made to do big things.